Hey everybody, welcome to episode 36 of the Joys of Games podcast. We are recording this little ditty here on a Thursday night, October 20th, a day that will go down in infamy. 2016, mark it on your calendars, folks. Possibly one of the most exciting days in recent memory. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined, as always, by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Colin Wheeler.
Woo boy, what a night.
What a night indeed. I can neither confirm nor deny that I have had at least one alcoholic beverage tonight, because you know what, Colin? It's a night of celebration, my friend.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Come on, indeed. Copyright infringements, we don't care. What a day, Colin.
Yeah. I feel like with this podcast, because it's the etc. episode, we're switching up every week.
Yeah.
I think we're going to switch it up like hardcore
Are
tonight.
we?
I think so.
We're going to cuss like sailors.
No. Wait. No. That's a lot of editing. I don't.
It's true. Pants not required?
They've never been required, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Bingo. What's different about this podcast, Colin, as opposed to every other etc. episode that we've done?
We are not going to talk about etc. stuff. We're actually going to talk about the thing that we've wanted to talk about and know what it is for a year and a half, something like that. Certainly seems like it.
Is that so?
Yes.
You think we're going to?
Oh, yes.
Here's the thing.
We're 100% going to.
Here's a curveball, Colin. I got something lined up already that we're going to talk about before we talk about today's big announcements.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I can handle this, honestly.
This is the lead-in to the grand finale here.
Okay. All right.
Okay, this is the warm-up band.
All right.
Funny thing is, I've had this planned out for about 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? 2 or 3 weeks, at least. That this was going to be the topic of this episode. Funny thing is, we had a listener of the show, Sebastian, Seabass on Twitter, make a recommendation that we talk about something on this etc. episode. Funny thing is, it's the exact same thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh.
I already had it planned, Colin.
All right.
What I want to talk about and what my pitch is to you and the listening audience is a little movie that you can find on Netflix. It's streaming for free if you have Netflix. It's called Man vs. Snake.
Oh, yeah.
The Long and Twisted Tale of Nibbler.
Sure.
Have you seen this?
I have seen this.
All right. Well, I'm going to read you the synopsis in case people out there listening haven't seen it. And they're wondering, what the heck is this guy talking about? Synopsis is as follows. If you ever played the game Snake on your early model Nokia cell phone, then you're familiar with Nibbler, the original Snake game. Man vs. Snake tells the story of Tim McVeigh, the gamer, not the bomber, who in 1984, on a single quarter and over 45 hours of nonstop play, was the first person in history to score over 1 billion points on a video game. This historic accomplishment led the city of Ottumwa to declare a civic day in Tom's honor, Tim McVeigh Day, and present him with the key to the city. 25 years later, when rumors of a higher score surface online, attributed to Italian kickboxer champion Enrico Zanetti, it calls into question everything Tim McVeigh has believed for decades and forces him to make a decision. Either set a new world record or risk losing his legacy forever. Now, middle-aged and out of shape, Tim discovers that reclaiming the Nibbler title will not be easy. Packed with unexpected twists and turns, the film documents one of the epic achievements of the classic gaming era and proves a powerful tale of the triumph of the human spirit.
Dang. That's a back of the box description I've ever heard one.
Whew, that is some solid synopsis there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've seen this movie.
I have seen it. Yeah, I just finished it a couple days ago, which is kind of funny
That is
because I
funny.
had no lead in at all that we were talking about this.
Sure.
So
No, I didn't tell you.
yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Oh, I thought it was great. This kind of goes off of the whole King of Kong documentary.
Absolutely.
It really felt like this weird like spin-off or sequel.
Like spiritual successor almost.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe sequel because Billy Mitchell was in it. So
Yeah, so it definitely had like um it had the same like 80s feel to it. Like it had the kind of similar stories where in King Kong they were talking about Billy Mitchell and his rise to, you know, fame because of his high scores and like ridiculously difficult arcade games. And Tim McVeigh is kind of that similar thing, except I'd say Tim McVeigh is a lot more of a likable guy.
yes. Also,
uh,
like once he set the record, like he stopped. He's like, I'm done.
yeah,
I'm out of here. Like I don't.
yeah,
I got my fame and fortune. I'm out.
yeah,
Whereas Billy Mitchell was like, this is gonna be my forever life for the rest of my life.
right. His legacy or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I mean, if you're the best at something,
Sure.
I could see the passion being there,
Right.
up until adulthood. But this one was definitely like I wouldn't say it was depressing. It was definitely more like heartbreaking, I think, than like Steve Wiebe
Mm-hmm.
in King of Kong, because Steve Wiebe in King of Kong, he was a teacher, he had a family, and this was just something that he did on the side that he really wanted to accomplish.
Sure.
But like Tim McVeigh, like he basically said in the documentary that like the only time he had time to actually practice this thing was on vacations.
Right. Right.
And one of the sequences he's like, I don't even have vacation time, so I have to do it on like holiday vacation. So that's what he would do, is train on holiday vacations, which is like something that I really like empathize with, because I go to school, I work, I have a
Mm-hmm.
family, like I don't really have time to game that much either. So
Right.
I totally empathize with him doing that. So there's a little bit more, I wouldn't say like attachment, but a little bit more empathy with him than
Sure.
Steve Wiebe.
Well, because training wasn't like, oh, I could play for an hour and like it good. It was like you need to do a marathon session to see,
Yeah,
how far you could get in a certain amount of hours and
right.
how you could hold up. So training is completely different than just like sitting down and playing a video game for a couple hours.
100%, because
Yeah.
yeah, you mean he in the documentary, what is it? He sat there for 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I can't even fathom that. Like,
Right.
even if it's a game that I really loved,
Sure.
I can't, like, I think the longest gaming session I think I've ever had is probably like 14 hours.
Right.
And even that was like by hour 10, I was like, I'm not feeling it. I'm
And that was the same
feeling,
game.
I'm feeling the yeah. And the game that I played, I think was gosh,
Halo.
it had to have been one of the Halos.
Yeah.
Like I was playing Halo and then replaying it at some point.
Sure.
And once you get to that 10-hour mark, you're just like, am I alive? Like
Sure.
what world am I in right now? So
Well, the Extra Life marathon, that's 24 straight hours, but, have the luxury of changing games and doing whatever I want to do. This 45 hours, that's almost 2 straight days
yeah,
of one game. And the only
yeah.
breaks, the best part about it is you can't pause the game. So
Hmm.
you can't take like 15-minute breaks to walk around and stretch and go to the bathroom or anything like that. You have to build up your lives to the point to where you could walk away and continuously lose lives in order to give yourself a few minutes here and there. That's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah, and I do think it's interesting that that's he learned the meta game. Like he learned, he's so good at the game. Obviously, he should be because he's the world champion.
Sure.
But he's so good at the game that he understood the meta game.
Yeah.
I don't I played arcades growing up, but by the time like I played arcade games, they had way more advanced. They had like the Konami brawlers, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, X-Men, Simpsons game. They had like Terminator games, like all sorts of these different games. So like the simplistic stuff there was always off to the side, but I never actually played Nibbler until, like you said, on a cell phone. Like I think
Hmm.
that's my first exposure to that game.
Sure.
So I thought it was interesting that it's not like Donkey Kong Jr. or gosh, I'm trying to think of another, like Space Invaders, where you can just walk away for a little bit
Right.
and take a break. So yeah, and dude, like honestly, watching him play that game, is not complex, and I don't mean it's not complex like it's easy to do that, because it's not.
Hmm.
What I'm saying is not complex is it is like one static screen that you're going around
Yep.
and eating all the little pellets. Think
It's like,
Pac-Man,
yeah, Pac-Man
but
without
Pac-Man
enemies.
that just extends over and over, so you have to dodge yourself and still eating the pellets.
Yeah.
Like, I just,
At least Pac-Man, like, you have the enemies to like change up the board and like make it
yeah,
different each
yeah.
time you play.
And they might change up the board and stuff like that, but like every time I looked at the screen, I'm like, boy, oh boy, that's pretty much the same thing, except with a little bit different maze.
Right.
So I just cannot think of a more monotonous game to play than that for 40 hours. So
Sure.
more power to Tim. Holy crap.
Yeah. So what, how did you find this movie? How did you stumble across it? Did you hear about it from somebody? Did you just randomly watch it one night?
You know, it's interesting. I I was by myself one evening and I was working on homework and I just wanted to play something in the background,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just browsing through Netflix
Mm-hmm.
and it just happened to be like, "Oh, we recommend this for you." I'm like, "Okay, what's this?" And I look at it and I see, Walter Day. I'm like, "Oh boy. Heck yeah. I know what Walter Day is and Billy Mitchell."
Yep.
So, and I'd seen other documentaries, other video game documentaries that I always clamor for um the same fun that King Kong brought, and also education.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched some documentaries, and I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I've watched some of them that I'm like, this is really fan filmy, which didn't really scratch the itch that I wanted. So I came across it because I had watched Indie Game the movie, the I think it's called The After Story, which is a if you ever, have you seen that movie, Indie Game the movie?
Yes.
Okay, so they filmed a follow-up with Phil Fish
Okay.
and the Super Meat Boy guys.
I've seen that listed, and I've stared at the title maybe 7 or 8 times for several minutes, thinking, was that the name of the movie that was before? Because it has all the same people in it, and I couldn't make the connection that it was a follow up.
Yeah, so basically they came back, the same filmmakers came back, I think 5 years after they'd filmed it initially,
Mm,
and kind of came back to them and showed some behind the scenes stuff. So I definitely recommend watching that if you liked Indie Game the movie, because it's a great follow up. It was really fascinating, really interesting, just like the original movie was. So after I finished that, that's when it recommended Man vs. Snake.
gotcha.
So
I thought I was just stupid this whole time. I was like, man, I don't remember it being called that. I really don't. But
yeah,
it's
so
been a
both.
while since I've watched it, so maybe.
So anybody that's listening out there that is interested at all in video games, even if you do not like documentaries, I can almost guarantee you'll be interested in this,
Mm-hmm.
because it is both these movies, the
Yeah.
Indie Game the movie and Man vs. Snake. It is a behind the scenes look at game development and a behind the scenes look at a gaming culture that is uh, gone, basically.
Yeah,
Like
pretty much.
it doesn't really exist anymore. So you look at this documentary and it's like history in a vacuum, which is, it fascinates me because, growing up, NES is my first console. Like I had arcades. I went to Chuck E. Cheese. I went to this local arcade called Pojo's that had like a bunch of different old arcade games. But by the time I was a teenager, I mean, arcades were already shutting down. So like that arcade culture is now considered, which is kind of funny, considered vintage and considered like a niche thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's really, really great. Really great.
Mm-hmm. When I stumbled upon it, I just saw the title, Man vs. Snake. I was like, ooh, is this one of those cheesy sci-fi movies? Because I haven't heard about this one, but I am definitely intrigued all of a sudden. Turns out it was not. It was something far different, but I'm glad I stopped and looked at it and checked it out. And like I said, it's reflective of a slice of the gaming culture that isn't really around anymore, except
I
for little conventions.
Yeah, and I would say it is like the start of hardcore gaming, like
Yeah.
in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's another documentary that's called I Got Next, which is also about the arcade culture, and it's really fascinating.
Sure. You're going to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo this weekend,
Oh yeah.
right? So that's a little slice of of what we're talking about. Everybody hanging out and celebrating these type of games, and how it used to be back in the day before online multiplayer shooters and everything else that we have.
Yeah.
So arcades, man, they were the jam back in the day.
Yeah, they were.
But yeah, excellent movie. It's on Netflix. Highly recommend it. It's definitely worth watching. There are some definite fascinating plot points that happen along the way that I didn't really see coming. There's some different interesting characters that we meet.
Yes.
Who aren't really characters because they're real people, but they're just so unbelievable that they're real people that it feels like they're characters.
Yeah, and I've described people as characters before, and I don't mean it in like what's the word? A negative way, just kind of more so like you look at them and you're like, man, they are such an interesting personality.
Yeah, unique.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's awesome. The one thing I'll say out there is if you have kids, there is quite a bit of swearing in it.
Sure.
So just keep that in mind before you start watching the movie.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, harmless.
Yes. There's no like gross content or anything like that.
No.
It's just
some old guys playing old games.
Oh yeah.
Very competitively.
Yes.
So yeah, I wanted to talk about that, Colin. I feel like this is the perfect type of episode for us to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But moving on, we gotta talk about the heavy hitter of the show.
Oh shoot.
Of course, I am talking about the finally released trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right. It's out. It's coming to Xbox One. It's coming to PS4. It's going to be big old world, beautiful graphics. I know you're huge.
We don't even know it's a big world.
Well, that's true. It's probably like a Telltale game.
Oh, that would be the ultimate troll from Rockstar.
Marston will remember this.
They show all these great set pieces, and it's just like the most linear storybook text adventure game you could possibly come up with.
I'm going to go on a slight tangent. So the Minecraft Telltale game is the first episode's free on iPhone.
Nice.
Downloaded it. I had not played a Telltale game in a very long time.
Okay.
Like
What'd you think?
the last one I played was Walking Dead. It was good.
Wait, Walking Dead first season?
Season 1.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's the last Telltale game I played.
Wolf Among Us?
Nope.
Colin.
Hey, when it comes to point and click adventure games, I stick with Tim Schafer. So those are like if I have an itch to play a point and click adventure game, I'm gonna go to his games. So sorry. Anyways,
so good though.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
So many games to play.
10 hours. 9 if you go fast.
It's sitting on my hard drive. Wolf Among Us sitting on my hard drive. Walking Dead Season 2 sitting on my hard drive.
Wolf Among Us, don't you? Season 2 is fine. Wolf Among Us is
so I just skip that?
Yeah. I mean, I would say play it, but if you have to choose between the two of them, I mean, you pretty much know where The Walking Dead Season 2 is going to go.
Yeah.
Or it's just going to be more misery and, horrible things happening to every character you come across.
Yeah.
Wolf Among Us, you know nothing about it, man.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
Minecraft story mode.
Sorry, I forgot.
Like I was pretty jazzed about it. Hayden and I switched off playing it, and it's just really well written. I think it's the easiest Telltale game to figure stuff out, and I think it's just because it's geared for kids. But
sure.
Like the reason why I wanted to bring it up is the iPhone integration is really cool. Like you tap for like things that you're supposed to pick up, but then there's also things like you're supposed to train for a building event where you go and build stuff. And you just swipe up and left and right. It's a really fun little interactive game.
Sure.
With some cool story. So it's free. So check it out.
Yeah, the Telltale games definitely over the last couple of years. You wouldn't know because you haven't played them. Have definitely backed off of the point and click type of mantra and been more story focused.
Yeah.
You know, like the first season of Walking Dead, you're like, why do I have to walk around and find batteries for this radio?
Oh,
You
it's
know,
so
and then,
annoying.
like that kind of stuff, like lessens by each game that they've made, because I think they're just realizing like we should just put out stories. Like, why are we even making people control these? You know?
Yeah.
So, Minecraft,
Yeah, Minecraft Story Edition.
just
It's
mobile. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I just played it on iPhone. Like it's on Xbox, it's on PS4.
Sure.
I think it's even on Wii U. But I played it on
Yeah.
iPhone because the first episode was free. So
Sure. Might as well.
yeah,
So, Red Dead Redemption 2.
yeah, man, holy crap, does that game look beautiful?
Looks great from what we've
Yep.
seen.
Yep. We'll see.
It wasn't the trailer I think everybody was expecting to see.
I don't understand how anybody could expect anything different. Like this is what Rockstar does.
Right.
They release a couple images, get super hyped,
Mhm.
get 100,000 tweets in a day
Yep.
from a logo. And then I remember with Grand Theft Auto 5, like IGN had like an exclusive image of a shark, an in-game entrance shark, and people lost their freaking minds
Yeah.
of an in-game shark.
Yep.
So
It was
like,
a cool looking shark, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's probably the best looking video game shark ever, except for the one in Banjo-Kazooie. So, yeah, that was definitely.
Controversial statement, but okay.
So, but yeah, so I don't understand how anybody would expect anything different, especially because we know it's coming out a year from now. Like if they were like, if it said spring 2017,
Or November.
or no, yeah, well, yeah, obviously November would be like, oh my gosh, that would be nuts. If they had a trailer and released it the next month, I mean, they could totally get away with it and do that because that's
I think
what
people were
Rockstar is.
expecting what Bethesda did last year with Fallout 4, where it came out of nowhere and then it's this hour-long info dump of everything you need to know about the game.
I don't know why they would think that though.
Because people wanted it, so they kind
Sure.
of convinced themselves that it was going to happen.
I don't know. You just kind of have to look at the trends of these companies, like the way that specific companies announce specific things.
Sure.
There's trends about this. Like here's a E3 prediction in October 2016. Next E3, we're going to see a teaser trailer for Halo 6, and then the next year, next E3 after that, we're going to get a full reveal with multiplayer and stuff.
Right.
That you know why I know that? Because they've done that with every single one of the Halo games.
Sure. And
It's just like
that trailer will be shown immediately following the newest Cuphead trailer.
yeah, because Cuphead will be delayed till 2020. So, it's just you can look at these big companies; they know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and that's why they continue to do it because it's viral marketing.
Mhm.
Like that's how they're going to show you nothing.
They have to
so
give
everybody talks about it.
zero information other than a timetable of when they think they're going to release it, and they will make the same amount of money, if not more, than they would if they just blew the doors wide open and showed everything.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that like I think they're going to be done in the spring. I really do, and they're just going to refine everything.
I bet they're so close.
But they are notorious for delays, and I think they want to kind of get away from that, and that's why they're giving themselves a year. Because if you look at that footage, it looks like a next gen game, like completely done. Like
Right.
it looks beautiful.
But we've also been fooled with that before, so
Yes, we have.
I mean, none of that footage we saw was necessarily, taken from a live playing of the game.
Sure, it was. I do want to state it was captured on a PS4, a standard PS4, not a PS4 Pro, and there will be exclusive online features for PlayStation owners for a limited amount of time.
Right.
So that's one tidbit that came out that it was captured on PS4,
Sure.
which is cool because like. That's the thing is when PS4 Pro comes out and the Xbox Scorpio, it's like what is actually what I'm going to experience without having to purchase these new consoles.
Right.
And it's going to get really E3 is going to be really wacky this year because it's like, are they going to state it? Are they not going to state it? Because I really do not want it to be like when Ubisoft shows Watch Dogs and everybody loses their freaking mind because it looks so amazing, and then when you get it, it's just like so dumbed down because they just couldn't get it to run on these next gen consoles. So I don't know how Sony and Microsoft are going to play this out. It'll be interesting.
I mean, it was always, the thing of when companies would show footage that was running on a high-end PC,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
it's
it
just
was
yeah, exactly.
with all the sliders turned up to max, and then you
Sure.
get it and throw it in
Yeah.
your PS4, and you're like, I don't know about these hair physics that they're talking about, but um, yeah, people are excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. That's a cool thing. We got to wait a year.
Yep.
So it was a fun couple days, but Rockstar is going to go away. Like, we're not going to see or hear from this game for a while, and people have to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
They have to know it's going to happen. They're not going to be at E3. Rockstar doesn't go to E3 unless Sony begs and pleads and does everything they possibly can to get them on stage to show the game.
They'll have a trailer at E3 for sure on Sony's
Yeah,
stage.
but I mean, it's not.
But
gonna
they're
be
not going to be there.
No.
Their Rockstar is not going to be there in any capacity. You're not going to see a Rockstar booth. You're not going to see any of that. You will see a trailer for whatever exclusive mode that goes with the PS4. That's what you'll see.
They're not going to have their own conference a la Bethesda.
Yeah, I mean, what other games do they have? You got nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they don't need anything else, but like at the same time, like Bethesda at least had Dishonored and they had Doom
Sure.
and they had other games to show.
But what I'm saying, people want that from Rockstar, and
Oh,
Rockstar's
yeah,
not going to give that to them.
No, and they don't need to.
No.
I mean, I'm curious. Okay, so as soon as that trailer went live, the
Mhm.
Amazon listing hit. I'm curious how many hundreds of thousands of copies got reserved on Amazon today.
Stupid amount.
Stupid amount.
There were flyers in GameStop today to pre-order it.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was, hey, just announced Red Dead Redemption 2. Pre-order your copy now. Like, it was just like hand-drawn flyers that somebody had made up. Like, it wasn't official promo art or anything. It was the most GameStop thing I could possibly ever imagine. But it's just like, and people are walking in reserving it. I guarantee somebody did that today.
Oh, yeah.
They ran down the GameStop like, we got to reserve this game for a year from now, just in case.
Hype is real, this game, man. Like, this is the sought-after game. Like, this is... The thing is, it's weird because this generation, we've been getting all of these... Well, I guess not just this generation. The past 2 generations, we've been getting all these, like, games that have been in development, heck, for, like, years and years and years.
Sure.
And they're finally coming out. First was, Duke Nukem Forever, which turned out to be a disaster. We finally got Doom, which was amazing.
Yep.
And honestly, I think they rebooted that game like 3 times before they actually got the product that they have today.
We're allegedly getting Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, yeah, supposedly coming out next month. We have Last Guardian supposedly coming out 2 months from now. And then Red Dead and Half-Life 3 were the last 2 ones, so we got Red Dead.
Right. But the thing with Red Dead 2 is it was never in the developmental hell that all the other games were.
No.
It was just like, we're just taking our time. Just, they're making hundreds of millions of dollars from GTA every single year, so they can afford to take their time and do what they want to do.
Yep.
Whereas all these other games, they're just, it was a mess for most of them. So, who knows, man? I don't know. It's a funny world out there. People are stoked. I'm happy people are stoked. I just, you don't need to pre-order a game a year ahead of time.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Don't be that person. It's okay. It'll be available to you.
There's
to the digital marketplace. They will never run out of copies.
Yes. There's other sooner things.
Well, we
pre-order. We hope to pre-order.
We think it will be sooner. They promise it will be sooner. Will we actually be able to pre-order it? Don't know. I would think so.
Yeah.
But the way Nintendo is these days, I don't know. Do you have your pre-order in for your classic NES?
I do, actually. I'm one of the few people that got
at
one.
Amazon?
No, okay. On Toys R Us.
Yeah, because Amazon still doesn't have them up.
I think they had them up for
Nope.
like a second, didn't they?
Nope.
No?
Never been up on Amazon.
Oof. I still got to pre-order another extra controller. Like, that's my concern is, like, I'm more concerned about finding an extra controller than the regular system. But we're talking about Mario Maker for 3DS, right?
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Totally.
So
And
they're
Yoshi's
probably
Woolly
not good.
World, including Poochie for the
Yeah.
3DS.
Well, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm gonna play it.
The Poochie amiibo. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. It's pretty
Oh,
cool.
don't get me started. How cool that thing is. I'll
Yeah.
just give me all the yarns. Just
Yeah.
all the. Colin, what happened today?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was a pretty slow news day. I mean, besides Red Dead, like,
I mean, as of less than 36 hours ago, the only thing people were expecting and hoping and anticipating to happen today was the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer, right?
right,
That was
right.
going to be Thursday. It was going to be Red Dead's Thursday. People were going to be nonstop talking about Red Dead. They were going to own the
Mhm.
day.
Yep.
Then the Logan trailer hit.
Right. And it
Actually,
made
that
a
was kind of a surprise.
single tear
Old
drop from my
man
eye.
Logan.
Man, that it looks sad. Like it really looks sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm not ready for it. He's
So
gonna die.
I mean, he's gonna die, and this is
It's
the
officially
end.
his last movie of
Yeah,
X.
this is the end of Hugh Jackman being Wolverine. It's been 16 years. No, more than that. It'll be 17 years by the time it comes
Yeah.
out.
This is honestly, they get this movie out, and then they could reboot the entire franchise. He's the one
Yeah, I
piece
mean-
keeping this entire
Yeah.
franchise as we know it intact.
I really hope that Marvel Studios makes a deal with them to be like, hey,
Please.
we did it with Sony. Come on board.
Anyway,
You know you want money.
Logan happened this morning,
Yeah. Mhm.
but that wasn't the surprise. No, last evening, shortly before the third and final presidential debate happened,
Yes.
when everybody was getting very well liquored up in anticipation of watching that sideshow unfold.
Sideshow's a nice word for that.
Trying to keep it family friendly here.
Sure. Yeah.
Nintendo, out
Oh,
of
yeah.
nowhere, decided to drop a little news nugget on
Oh, yeah.
social media and said, "Hey, you guys want to see the NX?
Be among the first to discover NX. Watch the preview trailer at 7 a.m. Pacific.
You guys want to see the NX? Huh? You guys want to see it? Yeah. Who wants to see? Who wants to see the NX? The internet blew up.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at my timeline and it was just retweet after retweet. Like, 40 people I follow in a row was just retweeting and commenting on that tweet from Nintendo because it came out of nowhere. It was completely unexpected, caught people off guard, and
Yeah, it was like at 5 o'clock at night too.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like a normal. It wasn't normally these press stuff happens early in the morning,
Sure.
like super early. And I was just reading from Emily Rogers, what she's been pretty accurate about a lot of like
Mhm.
Nintendo leaks in the past, and she was saying, "I'm telling you guys, there's Nintendo news. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen tomorrow." And
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, yeah,
Sure.
I get it. And then like half an hour later, I see the tweet, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? So I look online because I think someone hacked Nintendo's account. Like
Yep.
that was my first thought: is
Sure.
someone hacked Nintendo's account?
right?
And then it showed up on Nintendo.com, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
It's
this is
happening.
real.
It's
This is happening. So I text you, and I
Yep.
text a couple other people, and almost every single response is like, is this legit? Like,
Well, Wednesday night, like there's no news comes out of Wednesday nights,
yeah,
like plain and simple. And there were rumors, not from her, but from other sources that were like, Nintendo might be announcing something this week. Stay tuned.
yeah,
But then Rockstar showed up on Sunday morning, and they're like, hey, we want to do something this week. So then everybody turned their attention to Rockstar, and the sources were like, Nintendo still might announce something. Just stay put. And everybody's like, no,
Yeah.
this is Rockstar's
Nah.
week. This is all Rockstar. Nintendo's like, nah. Excuse us, Rockstar. We got news to make here. Step aside, young guns. Yeah, when you texted me, I was like, get out of here. There's not a chance. What are you talking about? You're lying to my face, Colin. You're
Man.
absolutely lying to my face. I had the reaction that you did when I told you Mario was coming to the iPhone.
Yeah, it was like explicit.
And Miyamoto was
shut
on
up.
stage.
Yeah, I was like, you are lying, like, because I wasn't watching. I was at work, and when you texted me about that, and I'm like, so what's happening to Apple event? He's like, oh, Miyamoto came on stage. I'm like, Mario's coming to iPhone. I'm like, screw you, man. I was just trying to figure out information, and you're being a jerk about it.
But the thing was, like, as shocking as unexpected as that was, it was still a media event that was happening, so there was always a possibility for news like that to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas Nintendo yesterday, they're just like, here we go. Let's do this. We're ready. Are you guys ready? Yeah, Nintendo. We're ready. We are ready. So, 7 a.m.
Yep.
They released the trailer. I woke up at 6:30.
Yep.
I was laying in bed in anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
I went to bed super late because I was doing laundry. Didn't sleep very well. I slept in about 15-minute increments. Woke up, checked my phone, see what time it was. About 4:30 or so, I rolled over, decided to check Twitter because I was like, look, this thing's happening in less than 3 hours. 100% it's already leaked, right?
Yeah, someone's leaked it.
Somebody's leaked it. All the information's already out. I could just look at Twitter right now, go to bed. I don't have to wake up early than I normally do. I'll be good. Get on Twitter. All I found was Nintendo of Japan just accidentally decided to release a new Zelda Breath of the Wild trailer.
Yeah, there's 4 of them actually.
Right. But it's like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I'm going to retweet this. Okay,
Sure.
back to bed.
Yep. Dude,
I'll see you in a couple hours, Nintendo.
It was like a kid at Christmas for me because I was so excited for it, and it's funny. And I, no joking aside, I seriously had a dream that the NX at the time was basically just the Wii U gamepad but portable. So basically, you have the Wii U gamepad and you just put it on a dock that hooks up to your TV.
Sure.
And I woke up and I'm like, oh, this sucks. I can't believe they announced it. And then it like took me a second to like come to terms with like, oh, that was a dream. That's weird. So I'm very happy that dream was not real because, dude.
Whew. Yeah, that would have been rough.
I'm over that gamepad. I really am.
Yep. I'm looking at it right now and it's not pleasant.
It's a clunky controller. I think it's Nintendo's worst controller they've ever made.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch.
What do you think of the name, Colin?
I like the name.
I like it too. It's different.
It's different and it makes sense.
Yes.
For what it is. Finally, we have confirmation. It is a hybrid console.
Yep.
It is a tablet-style console that you can take wherever you want. Mm-hmm. And then once you are done being portable, you put it in a dock, and the dock hooks up to the television, and you have the game on the big screen.
Yep.
What's kind of crazy to me about this whole thing, like, we were all anticipating this. We all heard the rumors. It's been months. The biggest surprise for me about this is not that it's a hybrid, because generally speaking, I figured it was going to be that.
Yeah.
What surprised me the most was the detachable controllers. I really did not think that was going to be a real thing.
Sure. Every rumor we heard about this damn thing was real.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable. I don't know how the final product didn't get leaked when everything else did.
I have no idea. What's interesting is, so the announcement trailer basically going through it just shows a bunch of millennials basically playing this tablet controller. But what really piqued my interest was when they started playing Skyrim Remaster, mm-hmm. which makes me think, A, it's powerful, on par with the Xbox One and PS4. And then the second thing that surprised me was the fact that you could play multiplayer games on the go. Mm-hmm. And it was basically, they detached the controllers and gave one person one controller and one person the other, which was super weird to me. But later, I guess there's clarification that you could actually use 2 of these, what are they called? Joy-Cons?
Yep.
So the detachable controller thing that's included with the tablet hooks into another, like, controller base station thing.
It's like a Wavebird.
Yeah, it's like a weird Wavebird. And then they're also coming out with a new Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which you can actually pair 2 of the Pro controllers.
Just a standard, straight up, no frills controller.
Right, which is awesome because like that's the one thing that I think Nintendo did right with this generation was you could choose to play the Pro Controller if you wanted to.
Yep.
So I'm glad that they're continuing that tradition. But it just looks cooler. Like it looks sleeker. The Pro Controller looks really slick. The Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controller looks slightly gimmicky, but it looks like a standard controller. It doesn't look that different.
No.
It's so exciting. Like it's everything that I wanted. And I remember thinking back after watching that trailer, I was like, wow, like it didn't super surprise me, but that's okay. Like I'm happy that it's all true.
I think it surprised me in the fact that it wasn't surprising. You know,
sure, yeah, I completely agree with you.
It was like all of the stuff that we've heard is actually true, and it looks phenomenal. Like it's not super janky. It doesn't look clunky. It doesn't look gimmicky. It doesn't look cheesy and overdone and overexplained. It's nice, sleek lines. It's thin. It's oh man.
Yeah, I just remember the announcement trailer, which was for the Wii U, which was about the same time. What is it? 4 years ago? Basically, it was around October whenever the Wii U was out announced, and that trailer is just so awful. Like I would remember watching that trailer, and I was like, "What the heck are they doing?
Right?
What is this?" Because what they showed was those Nintendo Land mini games where you throw the ninja star at the ninjas and like cut things, and they showed the new Super Mario Brothers U, which looked exactly the same as the new Super Mario Brothers. So I'm like, what in the world is Nintendo doing? And I had written that system off because I was just like, no, like this is stupid. This is not what I want. This doesn't look good.
Well, and the second part of it was everybody in the trailer, with the exception of the person holding the gamepad, was holding the Wii remotes.
Yeah.
You know, so before you even start your marketing campaign, you're confusing people 100%. And that was the Wii U's biggest downfall, was nobody understood that it was a separate console.
So last year when I was, I think I was setting up a Skylander section, or maybe it was Amiibo section, I had a customer come up to me and ask me what the Wii U was. Or they wanted a Wii U. It's like, okay, here it is. It's $299. They're like, $299 for a tablet controller? I'm like, no, it's a new console. They're like, what do you mean it's a new console? I'm like, it's a HD console. It's better than the Wii. They're like, so is everything on the tablet, or what? I don't understand. So how do I hook this up to my regular Wii? I just want the tablet for my regular Wii. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. Like I had this like 20-minute conversation with this guy trying to explain to him that it is a new system. I'm like, do you remember the Super Nintendo from the regular Nintendo? He's like, no. I'm like, okay.
Do you remember the Sega CD from the Sega Saturn?
Maybe I should have gone with that approach. And then I went at the reference of, do you know the Xbox 360? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you know the Xbox One's coming out? He's like, no. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know how to help you here. Like
PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3.
Maybe we should have gone with that too.
Yeah. Good numbers. Yeah, people understand numbers.
That's the thing is, like, I tried to explain to him at the end. I was like, this is like the Wii 2. He's like, oh, well, I'm not spending $300 on another Wii. I'm like, okay, but I don't know what to tell you.
Sure.
So, yeah, 100%. The first-hand experience of the confusion of consumers. Right. So,
well, and that goes back to, when I asked you what you thought of the name Switch. It's so different. Every bit of this 3.5-minute commercial was new and fresh, and it had nothing to do with the Wii, had nothing to do with the Wii U. There was no ecosystem that was built in. Everything was completely brand new.
Mm-hmm.
The name Switch, perfect. It's new. It's not familiar with anything. Also, it tells you exactly about the product in one word.
Right.
Switch. You switch. What are you switching? You're switching from home console to mobile device. You're switching controllers. You're switching bits and pieces out, in and out. Everything is switchable.
Yep.
That name immediately defines what this product is.
That's perfect.
You say Wii U, what's up? It's the Wii, but it's for you. What?
Yeah. What if everyone else wants to play? I don't want to just be for me.
This is not a solo experience. This is not PSVR. This is, Yeah, night and day difference between Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Wii. You
Yeah.
know, God, the commercial was so good.
Yeah.
You said Skyrim. I I was so focused on watching the Zelda part of it, and then there was some gameplay going on, which I assumed was still Zelda, but I wasn't sure.
Hmm.
And then I saw a dragon. I'm like, wait a second, there's a dragon in Zelda? And I was like, no, that's Skyrim. I had that moment where I was like, wow, that's dragon in Zelda. Okay, we're going there. That's a weird thing to just drop in a trailer like this.
Yeah, they really improved the graphics on Zelda. No.
Art style's a little off, but okay.
So the games that they showed, the standout for me, like Skyrim, really was what like made me think, oh, boom, this is gonna be powerful. This is awesome. That means third party's gonna come in.
Yep.
But if Bethesda is developing games for this thing,
Yep.
that is a very good sign. They have never developed for a Nintendo console, as far as I'm aware.
That's exactly why they showed Skyrim. One, they're showing off that it's powerful to run this remastered version of Skyrim that the other systems are running.
Yeah.
Two, that if Bethesda is going to be on board with Nintendo, that means other third-party companies are going to be on board as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously the standout for me of the whole trailer was the new Mario footage.
Oh, so good.
So good. If you look at the screenshots out there, and I was talking to a couple people at work about this today, and I was saying, oh, the new Mario looks so good. They're like, oh, it doesn't really look that different from 3D World. I'm like, no. Go look at the colors. Go look at the shadows and the textures in that. It looks amazing. Like, it looks like those YouTube videos. They're like, this is what it could look like in 4K. Like,
right.
These amazing, like, modded renders.
This is running on the Frost engine.
Right, that Nintendo would ever make. And I'm like, that's what it looks like.
I will tell you this, Colin, right here.
Yeah.
I will walk into March 2017 completely blind about the Nintendo Switch. I will accept not knowing another single thing about the entire console. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Price, specs, anything. I will walk into the store and buy it with completely blind if I could just have a full-length new Mario game trailer right now.
Yeah, I mean...
That's how bad I want that game.
That game looks so. What excites me the most about that game is it from the couple seconds that it showed, it looks like Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, and the reason why I say it looks that way is not only because of the perspective, but also triple jump is back.
Yep.
Like you saw Mario do the triple jump, which was absent in 3D World and 3D Land.
Mario Universe is happening.
Yes.
That needs to be a launch title.
It's not going to be.
It needs to be.
So what's going to happen? I'm going to predict this right now. Here we go.
Okay.
Launch title. We're going to get Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a launch title. We're going to get a bunch of third-party stuff, Skyrim Remaster, NBA 2K, whatever. We're probably going to get Sega Mania, or Sonic Mania, excuse me. And then Mario is going to be that holiday game because the Xbox Scorpio is coming out in the fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to sell the Switch. Like, they want to sell it. So what better way to sell it than a new, amazing-looking Mario game?
Because they'll be selling it as of March.
What's that?
They'll be selling the console as of March.
Yeah, I think it's going to...
They need to come out hot.
I mean, that would be smart.
Yeah.
But what are they going to do for the fall?
I'm sure they could do... I'm sure there's a Metroid Prime.
Yeah, but Metroid Prime doesn't sell that well. Like, it doesn't sell consoles.
I don't know. I understand what you're saying. But
I think that they're going to start with Zelda, and people are going to be satisfied with that, and then they're going to come in...
But here's the thing. We're going back to assuming that Nintendo is only going to sell first-party games. Because that's what we've seen on the Wii U for the last 4 years.
Sure.
Right? Look at what Sony's done with a very limited amount of exclusives.
That's true.
You know? All the big AAA titles that are coming out next year will theoretically be on the Nintendo Switch as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to rely on their first-party titles solely to sell their game system now. It will definitely help.
Yeah, and I was talking to my friend earlier today about that too, and I was thinking about when the Nintendo Switch comes out, what system do I want to buy my games on? Because look at it this way, right?
Hmm.
So I have my console hooked up downstairs in my living room.
Sure.
It looks beautiful, looks great on my PS4, on my Xbox, all that fun stuff. But I can't take that into the bedroom.
No, it's
Like
suddenly a compelling case to be on another console.
it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I do want it to look good, but can I sacrifice a little bit of fidelity and performance for the portability?
Sure.
And that's like a very compelling argument
Yeah.
because it's like, where do I want to buy my third party content in? Because,
Well, think about Final Fantasy 15 that's coming out, right?
yeah,
If
yeah,
you have the choice to buy it on the Nintendo Switch so you could take it to work and play it on your lunch breaks every day,
yeah, I would probably buy it on that because like
right?
here's the thing too that is it's even more compelling about that is it's running off of flash memory, right?
Hmm.
So with flash memory, what that's going to do is it's going to improve battery life on the system itself, but it's also going to improve loading times. Like a game like Skyrim, there's loading times up the wazoo.
Hmm.
If it's flash memory, it's going to be so stinking fast. It's going to be like having an SSD in your console for every
Hmm.
single game, so you don't have to worry about 30-second load times.
Sure.
And that's also compelling because like maybe it doesn't look graphically as good, but if it's going to run, like if it's going to load faster and I'm able to take it anywhere, holy crap, like that's very compelling, and it's a completely different ball game than the Xbox and the PlayStation.
And take it anywhere without having to be digitally tethered, like doing remote play on the PS4 with the Vita,
Right.
anything like that. Like it's all free because you just play it, and then when you get home, you throw it in the dock and you keep playing. Like
Yeah.
nothing, no other thing needs to be incorporated for you to play on the go.
Yeah, it's I think it's, as we get more details for it, but I think it's going to be really difficult for me to decide where I want to buy
Right.
my games at,
And that's
you know,
100% what they're banking on.
which is good.
Yeah.
Competition's great.
Which is why I'm saying they don't need to rely as heavily on their first party titles anymore because now they're a player for the third party games.
Yeah. And we're going to be getting a lot of Wii U ports as well. We're going to be
Sure.
getting Splatoon,
Yep.
which they showed.
Hmm.
We're going to be getting Mario Kart 8, which they showed. And what's interesting about Mario Kart 8 is it looks like not only did they add extra characters, it looks like they added the ability to use two weapons as opposed to one.
Hmm.
So that makes me think that there's going to be like Mario Kart 8 Switch edition,
Yep.
and which
Splatoon Switch.
hopefully gets us more maps.
Yeah. Well,
You
yeah,
know?
that's the thing. I don't think they're going to do direct ports. They're going to take the existing games. They're going to, revamp them a little bit, and they're going to add a few things to make it compelling to buy again.
Right.
But
Just like Wind Waker HD.
sure.
I mean, if you think about it, because Wind Waker HD, they made it look better. They added some features.
Oh, I thought you meant they're going to bring Wind Waker.
Oh,
HD
no,
over.
no, no. I meant
I'm like,
I
oh,
meant that
okay.
their ports are solid. Like
Yeah.
every port that they've made are
Sure.
very, very good. So I have so much confidence in that. And then, that there was a rumor, just going back to Emily Rogers, what she was saying is the Splatoon and Mario Kart 8 rumor was among them. But another thing that she added was
Smash.
well, Smash is one of them.
Yep.
But Mario Maker was the other one,
Oh yeah.
which is interesting because with Mario Maker, they have not announced that this is a touchscreen.
Nope.
But I'm pretty darn sure it's a touchscreen. And the reason why I think that is one, because of that rumor, and two, looking at the Nintendo Switch partners,
Mhm.
DNA is among them.
You saw that, huh?
So
Yeah.
DNA is a mobile developer. They
Mhm.
helped with. Did they help with Miitomo? I think they did,
Yes.
didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Me
So they helped with Miitomo. They're helping with the upcoming Animal Crossing game. They're helping with the upcoming Fire Emblem game.
Hmm.
Why wouldn't it be touchscreen?
Right. And it's not going to be the touchscreen like we know the Wii U gamepad to be. It's going to be multi-touch touchscreen.
You think so?
100%.
Okay.
Has to be. There's no way, no stinking way they could get away with being a single touch gamepad.
Yeah.
Not in
and-
this day and age when every other tablet is multi-touch.
Yeah,
not
even
a
like the
chance.
cheap like Amazon
Yeah.
$50 tablets are
Yep.
multi-touch. So
I mean, just 100%. Just for swiping and zooming in or pinching and that kind of stuff. Has to be. Absolutely has to be.
There's some really like solid partners. I mean, you have Activision, you have Atlas, you have Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Capcom, FromSoft, EA, Ubisoft, Telltale Games, DNA, like I said before, Warner Brothers, Starbreeze, which Starbreeze makes nothing but like crazy powerful games. Like this is an incredible like lineup of developers that are going to be developing for this thing. Like that is really like the best news out of this whole thing. Like as awesome as the console is, as awesome as it's going to look, the fact that they're getting like a lot of third party support this time around makes me want to, like, in my mind, and it might be just because of the excitement, but in my mind it makes me want this to be my primary console, like
Sure.
going away from the Xbox and PS4 and switching to this. No pun intended.
No, that's part of the name. That's the brilliance of the name. Like, people are going to be switching over to the Nintendo Switch.
Because it has so many features that are, I think, outweigh like the high fidelity. Like
Sure.
that's just so excited. So excited.
Also, here's a brilliant thing from Nintendo's end. Obviously, we're going to see the end is nigh for the Nintendo Wii U. The 3DS is going to be slowly phased out in favor of this because they said that you can play multiplayer games if more than one people have a Switch, if it's on the go type of thing, like you would with your 3DS. They're going to start phasing out the 3DS. It's going to be a slow first because they're going to let people get adjusted to the whole taking your console with you. But all those developers in-house for Nintendo that have been working on 3DS games, all those are going to be working with the same teams working on the console games.
Yep.
We're going to get a new Animal Crossing for this console.
And it's going to look freaking amazing.
Yeah. And it'll still be as portable as the current Animal Crossing games.
Yep.
We're going to get Pikmin. We're going to get Metro. Like, we're going to get all these Nintendo titles. Like, yes, as Nintendo fanboys, we always want the same things over and over again because they're good. Yeah. And now they will have the resources because they're not going to be separated into two different divisions to start making these things happen.
Yeah, it really is exciting. When they did the restructuring when I can never remember his name for some reason. The new president took over. Mm-hmm. They restructured the company, and one of the directives was to have basically all the dev teams, both 3DS and Wii U dev teams combined, and this is obviously why.
Absolutely.
What's gonna make it even better is it's gonna make it consistent software, because the software is gonna come out on a normal basis. Like we're not gonna be waiting, months and months and months for the next.
But again, going back to the AAA thing, the Wii U seems bleak with titles because AAA third-party games are not coming to the Wii U. Right. We could go months on the PlayStation and Xbox without ever having an exclusive, but it feels like there's still so many games coming out that we're overwhelmed with the amount of games.
Mm-hmm.
And very rarely are there exclusives sprinkled into those. So the Nintendo will have finally that ability to sit back and make the games that they want, make the games that we all want them to make, without ever having that feeling of, oh god, there's nothing to play on this. When are they going to release something?
Yeah. So with all the excitement aside, let's ask some questions here. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Price. What do you think the price is going to be?
$350.
Okay. I think it's going to be $299.
I would say okay. They'll have a bundle.
Okay. You think they're going to do two SKUs, one with a game, one without?
They'll have like the basic set, which will have the Switch, the docking station, the side controllers. I have to think they're going to do a packing game no matter what. But I think there's also going to be an additional package that will have like a Pro controller with it. And see, I don't even know what accessories, what other accessories they're planning on. Maybe that stuff will just be sold separately. I don't know. $300 would be the sweet spot. Like, That's awesome. That would be perfect. That would be so good for them if they could hit the 300.
Yeah. My concern is if they go any higher than 300, that they're going to get buried because the Xbox One S is $299 and the PS4 is $299.
Sure, but
And
people
if
loves
it's
new stuff, man.
That's true. That is true. And there's a lot of I think there's a lot of people out there that have had Wii's and they've been wanting to get a Wii U, but like I think a lot of their friends are telling them that there's no games, so they don't want to get a Wii U. But I think this is going to be that push for all the people that didn't buy a Wii U to buy this system as well.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And even on Twitter's timeline, like there was several people on my timeline said I haven't bought a Nintendo system since GameCube. I'm going to buy the Switch.
Sure.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Another question I had for you is: do you think the detachable controllers are motion controllers?
Ooh, boy. Would they need to be?
So the reason why I asked this is because Just Dance 2017 is confirmed for this console.
Dang it. Of course it is. And
maybe
that
so. I mean,
they can force that little gyroscope into a controller real quickly.
It's in 3DS.
Yeah. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't want to talk about this specifically because motion control has such a negative connotation.
100%. If they said, hey, it's a motion controller... If they showed anybody using one of those little controllers as a motion controller, instantly you think of the Wii controllers.
Right.
Yep. Okay, I'll give you
that. Battery life.
It's going to get tricky.
Yeah.
It needs to compete with tablets on the market.
Okay, here's the thing, right? So this is probably going to be one of the most powerful tablets in the market in the graphics department.
Sure.
So the GPU is going to be significantly higher than like a CPU, which you would find like in an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
I think the battery life is going to be really bad. I really do. I think it's going to be as bad as the original 3DS, which is a bummer. But considering how much power this thing is producing,
sure.
I just don't know how they'd be able to get around it without making it just so much more expensive.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree that that's very possible. For their sake, though, I just want to think that they know that they can get away with having a very minimal battery life if one of their big selling points is being able to walk out the door of this thing and go play somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be tethered, bring their AC adapter and plug it in and sit next to a wall while they're playing it. Like if it's at your desk while you're working, fine, but they want people to take it on the bus with them. They want to take it out to the park. They want to go out and do things and still be playing this thing. On an airplane, not all airplanes have power adapters,
Right.
I mean, I say they have to shoot for probably 6-7 hours of gameplay.
I hope so. I really do. And I think that would be a nice amount of time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
Sure. I think I'm optimistic about it because it would be devastating if they do all this work to make it this mobile device and it isn't. You're not capable of going mobile without having to bring your charger with you.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Then I just hope it's not. I hope it's not that short because even like the gamepad dies so quickly. I was so shocked at how fast that thing died. I ended up buying their extended battery.
Sure.
And put it in there because I'm like, man, I had to charge this thing after just like a couple hours. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look at your iPhone. Like, how many hours can you get out of that constant use?
If I were to constantly use it, probably like 6, 7, 8 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they have to go for as a standard.
Yeah.
Of devices on the market now.
Do you think this will be 4 players or only 2 players?
I think you're asking too much to make it 4 players.
Yeah.
I think it's possible, but I don't think the screen is big enough to where having 4 players makes sense. They showed Mario Kart 8 and they only showed a split screen with 2. They showed 2 people playing the basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
I know Smash players are going to want 4 players, but if somebody else has one, that's how you could sync up and play like a 4-player game.
Yep, and
2
that's
on each screen type of thing.
That was the next point I was going to get to.
Yeah.
Is do you think that they're going to do easy local play?
100%.
Because they do with 3DS, no problem.
Yep.
So they have that like down.
Yep. 100%.
So,
they want multiple people to have these things. They want me and Val to both get one so that we could play next to each other on the couch and play the same game. They want people to have the option to share it with somebody that they're with to kind of show it off and be like, look at this cool thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that the experience is designed to be multiple people around one of these little screens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all like the main questions I had. And do you think, actually, one last question. Do you think they're going to hit March 2017?
I wouldn't have thought so if they didn't put it in the trailer. If they had just put 2017 or didn't have a date at all, I would be very nervous about it. But because they put it in the trailer, I feel they've had enough time to know. I mean, that's 5 months away. I think they are very capable of saying, we will be ready in 5 months.
Yeah,
that was a decision they had to make before they put out this trailer.
Sure. I'm very confident that they're going to make that too, because the president of Nintendo said that we probably could have released in fall, but we don't have the software. Sure. And we also don't have the supply to keep up. So
also that's, end of a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, I mean, they've been sitting on this commercial for a while now.
Sure.
And I think they wanted to absolutely make sure they had all their ducks in a row before they hit the send button on this and pushed it live and, reconfirmed the March date. If they were nervous about it at all, they would have edited that date out,
Right. Oh, it's so exciting, dude. I'm so excited.
You really think Zelda's going to launch with it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know be ready for the Wii U. It has to launch with this thing, right?
It's launching with it. It's going to be exactly like Twilight Princess. It's launching with it,
no
for
one's
sure.
going to buy it on the Wii U.
I think some people will.
Mm-hmm.
I have some friends that have a Wii U and they don't plan on getting the Switch right away.
Yeah,
so
fair enough. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
You're excited.
Yeah.
You know what would be great?
What's that?
Colors.
Colors? Like controller colors or what?
Just give us the option.
I mean,
I'd
be stoked for I'd be stoked for like the detachable controllers, like the 64 style where you could choose blue, red, green, whatever.
Absolutely. Let's have some fun with it.
I hope so.
I just don't want all black everything. It's Nintendo. Yeah. They should have fun.
Sure. It's kind of boring.
Put some colors on those buttons. Before we end the show, Colin, we have an email.
Ooh.
This email comes in from Alan Wilkinson. And, of course, you could email us at any time you'd like. joysofgames@gmail.com. Alan writes in from Folkestone, UK.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
UK listener. He says, while the Switch looks very nice, and I look forward to seeing what else gets announced, I doubt I will ever have the money to own one. As such, and with the Switch being single screen, I hope this doesn't spell the end for the 3DS family of systems. I like my 2DS and hope there is still a gap for it in Nintendo's future plan. Alan, I think they will continue to support the 3DS for a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably a year or so.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that you will be able to use a 3DS as a controller for this thing. Small possibility.
Very,
Small
very
possibility.
small. Very small.
They're gonna phase it out.
Yeah, buddy.
They're
I'm
moving on.
sorry.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, especially like the reason why I know this is because they've done this before. When the Game Boy Advance came out, they're like, oh, this is our new Game Boy, and then the DS came out just shortly after that, and they're like, oh, we're still gonna support the Game Boy Advance, but they didn't.
Sure.
It
would be hard for them to market the Switch as a home console and a mobile console all in one if they're also selling another mobile device at the same time that doesn't play the same games.
Yeah. So the nice thing is you will get another year of pretty solid 3DS titles, but after that, I wouldn't count on it anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Maybe
I bet
some
they
third
have
party stuff, like some JRPGs and all that stuff, but beyond that, I think it's moving on just to Switch. So
Sure. But the thing is, here's the best part. All those games you have, they're not going to disappear. You can still play that as long as you want.
Yep.
Just don't look forward to getting new games forever. It's just not how this industry goes. And the 3DS, the games, it's dated. It's a dated console, man.
I will say though, the 3DS has some of the most amazing gaming experiences that I've ever had. Like
Absolutely.
a DS to the 3DS, like.
Oh yeah, but now I mean, you look at like just the graphics and the games, and it's just like, well, it's not 2016 type of technology anymore.
Yep.
So.
I feel you, man.
Yeah.
I love my 3DS. I feel you. Yeah. I just.
Don't worry, March 2017 does not mark the end of the 3DS officially, but the writing is on the wall.
Yes,
so.
100%. But thank you for the email.
Absolutely. Colin, I think that's about it. That's all we know about the Switch. That's all we could really talk about. I mean, we could probably sit here for the next several days and speculate what we think is going to happen with the Switch. But they came out and said this evening, that we're probably not going to get any more news until 2017.
Yep.
So buckle in, folks. Like this was the big event for Nintendo until next year. So, which means the media blitz between January and March when this thing releases is going to be insane. And
absolutely,
Microsoft and Sony aren't going to be doing anything March or January, February, March. That's going to be 3 months of straight up Nintendo dominance in the headlines.
Yep.
It's going to be so fun.
Absolutely.
God, it's going to be amazing. And good thing. Good Nintendo sitting back and be like, you guys have your holidays. All right? Go do your thing. Have your little AAA titles. Have your few exclusives. Enjoy the PSVR. Do your thing, Xbox and PlayStation fans, because right after holidays, here we go. Let's do this.
Buckle up and get ready to switch.
Smart on them, Nintendo. I mean, they would get lost in the holiday shuffle.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they thought they would get lost today with Red Dead Redemption 2, but still, they're backing up. They don't need to do anything anymore. They announced what it is. They showed off what it is. They gave us the name. Done. Mic drop until January. Then it's time to switch up the game as we know it.
Switch it good.
God, we're going to come up with so many great puns in the next few months.
Yeah, I'm switching out my jokes right now, so.
You better switch it up. Fun episode next week. We're going to be talking about Nintendo.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we'll have anything to talk about.
Oh, we will. I got something planned.
Good.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry.
All right.
Until then, Colin, where can people get a hold of you at, my friend?
I'm at PDX_geek on Twitter.
Fantastic. You can follow me on Twitter at The Noise. Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at Joys of Games. You can email us like our friend Alan did, joysofgames@gmail.com. Of course, everything we do is posted over at the website, toysforgames.com. Patreon, you can support us, patreon.com/toysforgames. And quick little announcement/reminder, Extra Life gaming stream will be happening in about 2 weeks from here. I will be playing video games for 24 straight hours, starting at midnight, which is technically November 5th, but that Friday night is the 4th. Midnight will roll over. It'll technically be Saturday the 5th, but it'll be at 12 a.m. Pacific time, and I will go for 24 straight hours up until through Saturday night. So I'll definitely be playing some Skylanders, Lego Dimensions. I don't know what other games I'm going to be playing, but I have a few games in mind that I might try out. Colin, you said you might come over and hang out for a little bit.
Yep, that's the plan.
So that's going to be fun. Maybe I'll stream some stupid VR stuff. Who knows?
Please do. That'd be amazing.
It's doable, my friend. So all the information is over at toysforgames.com. You can find out where to watch the stream, how you could donate, put a personal goal of $500. I think that's reachable and obtainable. Any help in that is definitely appreciated. It all goes towards a fantastic cause. So 2 weeks from tomorrow, I'll be getting ready to play games. A lot of games. 24 hours worth of games, Colin.
That's a lot of games. That is a lot of games.
That's like a third of the first Mass Effect game.
How would you know?
From what I hear.
What do you know?
God, how sad is that? I'm going to stay up for 24 hours and play games. Oh yeah, how far did you get in Mass Effect? Not even halfway through the first game.
It's awesome.
That's stupid.
That's awesome.
Games are stupid.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week. We'll talk about Nintendo. We'll have some fun. But until then, just remember the 20th of October, 2016, as the day that you decided to switch.
You can switch off this podcast.
Good night.